My name's Eric Mason, I'm 1/3 of Android Beats, and today we're gonna do the breakdown on the process of how I made the beat for Fuck Yo Boyfriend by Famous Kid Brick. When I started on this beat, I had no idea it was even for Famous Kid Brick. It was just in a batch of like 30 beats for that week I was trying to make, and I didn't know till 2 or 3 weeks later that the beat was for him, and I'm like, holy crap, this is awesome. Honestly, it kind of varies from beat to beat what I start with, but I know with this one specifically, I started with the keys. I used this VST called Serum and a third-party VST library called Chainsmoking by Echo Soundworks, and it had this really cool kind of like Celesta key vibe, and I just did some quick jazz chords. It was just like a 4-chord measure and then looped it, and then I added the kick and the snare. I added this really cool plugin called Sausage Fattener to really beef up the kick, and just a regular like 808 snare, and then I added some like kind of like crispy hi-hats. Me and Knowledge had been working on adding some extra percussive elements to beats to try and make them feel more like lively and earthy and real, and Knowledge had been playing around with the sample of Timmy Thomas, Why Can't We Live Together, and he took it from the normal like do 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 thing into like a cha-cha groove, and it sounded really freaking cool. So he sent me over the 8-bar loop, and I threw it in there. I'm like, yo, it's a wrap. So I threw that in there. I added the 808 because it was missing that like boom, and then I dug into the sample library. It's the Kingsway Music Library by Frank Dukes. It's been sampled by everybody from 40 to Boy Wonder to Scott Storch. Like everybody huge has had their hands in this library. And there was this ride cymbal loop from the Baked Goods Volume 1 pack, which is mostly drums, and I threw that in there on the second part of the verse and the hook, and it sounded really cool. It was really crispy, you know, everything was grooving. Then I added an arpeggio from Nexus. I believe it's called Bullet Time. It's one of the stock ones, and then I just tweaked a couple things to make it, you know, really like slap. Then I added a Nord lead on the hook, that the da 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 part, and then I just formatted everything through, and it sounded friggin' cracked. And you know, once I wrapped that up and sent it over to Knowledge, and he played it for Brick, and he's like, yo, this is it. It's crazy. I love his style. I love his energy on the track. He actually reached out to Swag Hollywood in Atlanta, and they both crushed the record. Like, I'm so freaking pumped for that record to drop. It's gonna blow up. Big shout out to We Co-Signers and Creative Insight Studios for having me on today. And you can follow me on social media at Android Beats on Instagram, SoundCloud, Twitter, Facebook, and that's at NDROIDBEATS.